The sounds in the elevator. One night, Sem, a doctor on night shift, got into the elevator to go from the hospital's lower floor to the upper one. The hospital had quieted down by midnight. Only the distant hum of machines, the soft footsteps of a nurse on duty, and the faint wheezing of patients echoed through the corridors. The elevator, located in the hospital's old wing, was quite ancient. Its walls were yellowed, the buttons worn out, and it moved slowly as the mechanisms creaked. Sem was lost in thought, thinking about the hectic shift he had just finished and the procedures planned for the next day. Suddenly, the elevator jerked to a halt. Sem was momentarily taken aback, watching the flickering lights. He pressed the buttons again, but the elevator didn't budge. His heart skipped a beat when he realized the emergency phone wasn't working. Instead of the usual hospital operator, there was a strange sound coming from the other end. It wasn't a human voice. It was more like the echo of something long forgotten, something far away. The voice, low and distorted, whispered, "Inside. Something's there. Get out." Sem froze, his hand still gripping the phone. The words didn't make sense, but the dread in his chest was real. He quickly hung up and tried pressing the elevator buttons again. Nothing. The doors wouldn't open. Then, right in front of the elevator doors, a shadow appeared. At first, it seemed like a trick of the light, but as it drew closer, Sem realized it was not a reflection. It was a figure tall, thin, and dark with elongated limbs. He tried to look away, but it was impossible. The figure moved closer, but as soon as it reached the elevator, it paused, hovering just beyond the glass. Sem's breath quickened. He wanted to scream, but no sound came out. His phone vibrated in his pocket. It was an alert from the hospital system, but as he glanced down, he saw that the notification was nothing but a jumble of random letters and symbols. That's when he heard it, a soft, chilling laughter. It sounded like the giggle of a child, but distorted and hollow. It echoed from somewhere far down the corridor. With each passing second, the sound grew louder, as though it was coming closer. The air in the elevator grew colder, heavier. Sem pressed the buttons again in a desperate attempt to escape, but the elevator remained still. The laughter intensified, blending with the strange sound that seemed to come from within the walls. Then, without warning, the walls of the elevator began to tremble. The vibrations shook the whole cabin, and a deep, guttural cry echoed through the metal. The lights flickered once more, and the elevator's display showed a completely different floor, one that didn't exist. Sem's heart raced. The walls of the elevator were now moving. No, it couldn't be. It was impossible. But there it was. One of the walls of the elevator slowly slid open, revealing a pitch-black void. Sem stumbled back, his hands shaking as he tried to open the doors. But they wouldn't budge. He was trapped. The temperature in the elevator dropped, his breath coming out in short, foggy bursts. As he looked up, he saw a shape moving toward him in the darkness. With each step, the figure grew more defined. It was tall, with unnaturally long limbs, and its face was a blur like a mask with no features. He closed his eyes, thinking it would go away. But when he opened them again, the figure was right in front of him, hovering just beyond the glass. Desperately, Sem pressed the emergency button again, his palms slick with sweat. The lights dimmed, and for a moment, everything stopped. The elevator started moving again, slowly at first, then picking up speed. It ascended without a sound. When the doors finally opened, Sem stumbled out into a new floor. The corridor was completely silent. No one was there. That something was wrong. As Sem stood there, catching his breath, he noticed something in the corner of his eye, a faint reflection in one of the windows. He turned, and for a split second, he saw the silhouette of the thing that had been in the elevator. It was standing behind him, its gaze locked with his. Then, just as quickly as it had appeared, it vanished. The hospital, a place where the past and present intertwined. And Sem knew, deep down, that something still lingered here, something waiting in the shadows.